Evening shadows stretched across Wyoming's endless grasslands, painting the isolated homestead in shades of amber. Caleb, a weathered rancher, perched on his front steps, gazing toward the distant mountains. Loneliness had carved deep grooves in his spirit since his beloved wife's death years earlier. Correspondence from a woman called Eliza, a mail-order bride, offered a glimmer of possibility. Today marked her arrival. Trail dust spiraled in the distance, making his heartbeat quicken. Could she chase away the emptiness that plagued his solitary existence? The stagecoach clattered to a halt, wheels grinding against packed earth. From within emerged a woman whose emerald eyes surveyed the sprawling ranch before her. Sunset caught her copper-colored hair like flames. Caleb stepped forward, hat clutched nervously in calloused hands, his rugged features softened by anxiety. "You must be Miss Eliza," he ventured. She affirmed with a gentle nod, offering a timid yet genuine smile. Her voice carried like prairie wind. "I've come seeking a fresh beginning." Something stirred within Caleb, though darkness lingered behind her gaze. Unspoken mysteries. They approached the homestead together, heavy silence stretching between them. Eliza gripped a worn leather bag, her sole worldly possession. Inside, Caleb prepared tea with hands scarred by decades of ranch work. "Difficult travels?" he inquired. She nodded, her attention seeming to drift elsewhere. "I've abandoned a challenging existence," she whispered. Caleb detected anguish beneath her words, but chose not to pry. The hearth fire danced, spreading warmth throughout the room, yet her posture remained rigid, defensive. That first night, Eliza claimed the guest quarters. Caleb lay restless, contemplating this enigmatic woman now sharing his home. Her written words had spoken of determination, but her reserved manner suggested deeper injuries. He reflected on his own battle scars, losing his wife, the relentless isolation. Perhaps Eliza represented his opportunity for restoration. Beyond the walls, wild dogs sang mournfully, and he wondered if she too carried the burden of solitude across this immense territory. The following days found Eliza working alongside Caleb, absorbing ranch routines. She scattered feed for poultry, her movements awkward yet determined. Caleb respected her tenacity, though he noticed her periodic grimaces, fingers pressing against her ribs. "Feeling poorly?" he would ask. She'd offer reassurance, dismissing his concerns. Her infrequent laughter, when it emerged, brought him comfort. Still, her gaze often wandered toward far horizons, as though seeking escape or sanctuary. Caleb sensed their connection deepening. One evening, following exhausting labor, they gathered near the fireplace. Eliza appeared wan, hands quivering. Caleb observed her distress with growing concern. "Eliza, something troubles you," he said softly. She wavered, lips forming unspoken words. Eventually, she confessed quietly, "I've been experiencing pain in my lower regions." Her voice fractured as tears gathered. Caleb's heart sank, uncertain of her meaning, but recognizing her profound suffering. Eliza's admission lingered between them like morning mist. Caleb moved closer, speaking tenderly. "Share with me, Eliza." "I'm listening." She drew an unsteady breath, fingers worrying her apron fabric. "An old wound," she explained, "from my Eastern days." Her explanation remained unclear, yet her expression revealed shame and terror. Caleb refrained from pressing further, simply acknowledging her pain. "Safety dwells here," he assured her. She met his gaze with gratitude, though haunted shadows persisted. The next morning brought unusual quietness from Eliza, her eyes avoiding his. While tending crops, Caleb stole glimpses of her hanging wet clothes. Her confession echoed in his thoughts. Was this merely physical discomfort or something more profound? He remembered her written accounts of hardship and a merciless man. Fury kindled within him, alongside protective instincts. He resolved to grant her patience, allowing trust to develop naturally. A week later, violent storms struck, thunder rattling the ranch buildings. Eliza flinched at each crash, color draining from her features. Caleb discovered her in the stable, huddled in shadow, clutching her side. "Speak to me, Eliza," he pleaded. Their eyes locked, hers wild with fear. "It's beyond mere pain," she breathed. "It's connected to him, my history." Caleb knelt nearby, hand extended, but uncertain. "No harm can reach you here," he declared firmly. Eliza's tale emerged in broken pieces. A savage husband, a life steeped in terror, westward flight. Her persistent ache stemmed from his brutality, intensifying during stressful moments. Caleb absorbed every word, jaw clenched. Though tempted to pursue vengeance, her trembling touch on his arm restrained him. "You've shown me the first kindness I've ever known," she revealed. His spirit soared even as her anguish pierced him deeply. He pledged unwavering protection, regardless of consequences. Days flowed into weeks, and Eliza's resilience flourished. Smiles came more frequently, her laughter brightening the homestead. Caleb instructed her in horsemanship, her delight contagious as they raced across open grassland. Yet periodic episodes reminded them both of her troubled past. Caleb remained observant, providing silent comfort. He carved a miniature wooden stallion for her, a modest token. Her face illuminated with joy, and she embraced him, their first lingering physical contact. One clear evening beneath star-scattered heavens, Eliza revealed deeper truths. "I never imagined feeling secure," she admitted softly. Caleb settled beside her on the porch steps, night air cooling their skin. "This is your sanctuary now," he replied. She pressed against him, her warmth awakening something within his chest. "The pain," she confessed, "stems less from physical injury now and more from fear of trusting again." Caleb's steady presence gradually mended her wounded heart. Winter descended, wrapping the ranch in pristine snow. Caleb and Eliza drew closer, exchanging stories beside crackling flames. Her laughter flowed more freely, eyes regaining their sparkle. But one afternoon, a stranger approached, a man with merciless eyes. Eliza froze, face turning ashen. "That's him," she whispered. Caleb's blood simmered, though he maintained composure for her sake. "Remain inside," he instructed, retrieving his rifle. The past had tracked them down, and he prepared to confront it. The intruder, Eliza's husband, demanded her return. Caleb stood immovable, his voice cutting like winter steel. "She's claimed her freedom." The man sneered, hand moving toward his weapon. Eliza appeared in the doorway, trembling yet defiant. "I belong to no one," she declared. The man lunged forward, but Caleb proved quicker, wrestling him to the ground. "Depart now, or you'll crawl away," Caleb snarled. Recognizing Caleb's determination, the intruder retreated, cursing as he mounted his horse. Eliza crumpled into Caleb's embrace, sobbing uncontrollably. He held her securely, pulse hammering. "He's vanished," he murmured. She clung desperately, terror gradually subsiding. That night brought complete honesty. Years of cruelty, her desperate escape attempt. The persistent ache represented both physical scarring and traumatic memory. But Caleb's compassion was gradually healing both. "I'm unworthy of your goodness," she whispered. He cradled her face gently. "You deserve everything beautiful," he responded, voice thick with emotion. Spring's arrival brought renewal to the ranch. Eliza's strength returned, episodes becoming less frequent. She and Caleb labored side by side, their connection unspoken yet profound. One day she discovered him repairing boundary fencing, shirt drenched in perspiration. She offered water, their fingers touching briefly. Her smile blazed with newfound freedom from shadows. "I'm remaining here, Caleb," she announced. His expression mirrored her joy, hope blossoming within him. They began designing their future together. Caleb showed her property he dreamed of developing, his eyes bright with possibility. She described plans for gardens and a home filled with warmth. Though pain occasionally returned, she faced it with Caleb's unwavering support. He never pressured her, only listened. Their trust deepened, quiet love taking root. The once lonely ranch now pulsed with life, their shared visions painting tomorrow's promise. One evening, Eliza prepared their meal, hands steady and sure. Caleb observed her, amazed by her resilience. "Your strength exceeds your understanding," he noted. She blushed while setting their table. "You helped me believe it," she replied. They dined in comfortable silence, fire crackling nearby. Outside, stars gleamed, reflecting the spark growing between them. Pain was fading, replaced by warmth neither had previously experienced. Summer brought ranch prosperity. Eliza's garden flourished in brilliant colors. Caleb constructed a rope swing suspended from an ancient oak. Her laughter rang out as she soared, hair streaming behind her. He joined her celebration, their joy echoing across the plains. Anguish had become distant memory, overshadowed by contentment. Eliza's history no longer imprisoned her. Caleb's devotion had granted freedom. Together they built their life, step by careful step. One moonlit night, Caleb led Eliza to the hilltop overlooking their domain. Silver light bathed the landscape as he knelt, presenting a simple ring he'd crafted by hand. "Eliza, will you remain forever?" he asked. Tears sparkled in her eyes as she nodded eagerly. "Yes, Caleb." They kissed beneath starlight, pain finally vanquished by love. The ranch, once a place of isolation, had become their haven, brimming with promise and healing. Their wedding ceremony remained intimate, just the couple and a minister beneath the oak tree. Eliza wore a modest gown, her smile radiant. Caleb's gaze never wavered from her face, heart overflowing. They pledged mutual love and protection, words cementing a bond forged through suffering and trust. Ranch hands celebrated, and the newlyweds danced beneath countless stars. Pain had become a faint echo, drowned by shared happiness. As autumn painted the grasslands crimson, Eliza's episodes grew rare, a scar no longer defining her identity. She and Caleb managed the ranch together, their love providing quiet strength. She cultivated roses, their blossoms symbolizing rebirth. Caleb erected a new barn, dreams expanding alongside hers. Each day found them united, histories transformed from burdens into foundations for a life built on trust and tenderness. One evening, Eliza discovered an old letter from her past hidden within her satchel. After reading it, she cast it into the flames. Caleb watched knowingly. "It's finished," she declared, voice unwavering. He drew her close, his warmth her anchor. Pain no longer shaped her story. That chapter had closed. Their love became the new narrative, written in every dawn, every shared glance across their domain. Winter's return brought warmth to their home. While Eliza's garden lay dormant, her heart bloomed. Caleb carved a tiny cradle with gentle hands. "For someday," he said, cheeks reddening. Eliza smiled, her hand covering his. Pain had become memory, its power dissolved. They sat beside the fire, planning a future filled with children, laughter, and the ranch they'd claimed as theirs. Loneliness had vanished forever. Spring brought joyous news. A child was expected. Eliza's eyes glowed as she shared the news with Caleb. He celebrated loudly, lifting her carefully. The ranch seemed to rejoice, flowers blooming more vibrantly. Pain became a distant whisper, overwhelmed by anticipation. They prepared a nursery, Caleb painting walls, Eliza stitching tiny garments. Their love expanded, a beacon against any darkness. The ranch thrived with hope, their family beginning. As Eliza's belly rounded, Caleb remained protective and proud. She teased him lovingly, laughter filling their home. Pain had vanished, replaced by eager expectation. They rode together, her hand in his, grasslands stretching endlessly. The ranch had become their universe, built on mutual trust. Eliza's past remained a faded scar, healed by Caleb's devotion. Together, they prepared for whatever lay ahead, united, unshakable. One summer evening, beneath a star-blazed sky, Eliza delivered a daughter. Caleb held them both, tears flowing freely. They named her Hope, honoring their journey. The ranch was no longer lonely, filled with infant cries and laughter. Eliza's pain existed only in memory, its burden lifted. She gazed at Caleb with their daughter nestled between them, knowing she'd found home. Love had triumphed, and their story was just beginning. Years passed, the ranch flourishing as testament to their devotion. Hope raced through meadows, laughter echoing across the land. Eliza and Caleb, now older, watched from the porch with intertwined fingers. Pain had disappeared, a scar faded by time and love. The plains stretched before them, vast but no longer lonely. They'd constructed a life from suffering and hope, their love burning bright as an eternal flame on Wyoming's endless prairie.